In this step, we'll attach these 4 RJ11 jacks and a potentiometer to the Raspberry Pi Pico breakout board. And we'll take we'll pay real close attention to these 4 cables here to make these connections. First thing to point out is we're not going to be working with the original pins on the Pico at all. We're going to be using these openings on either side of the breakout board. They are controlled by these what look like little screws or bolts on the top side, and you just use a small flathead screwdriver to open and close these gates. So you may be able to see a little metal piece inside each of these tiny openings. That's a little gate. You can start by sliding the gate all the way to the bottom, and then as you tighten the screw on the top or the bolt on the top, the gate will move upward, and what you're hoping to do is capture one of these little exposed metal ends of these wires. See that at all? Yeah, it doesn't focus very well, but each one of these wires has a small, maybe a little more than 1/8 of an inch piece of wire exposed on each end, on the end, and you're going to try and capture those inside each one of these slots. Which wire goes in which slot? Well, that's all determined here in these tables. And the first thing I'll do is, just to keep my wires straight, or my jack straight, 2 of these jacks will be connected to the buzzers. And if you remember when we did the buzzer harnesses, we only used the red and green wires there. So we'll do the same thing we did. We'll do again what we did with those buzzer harnesses. We'll take the yellow and black wires and we'll cut them off. Do that twice, one for the buzzer on each side. Yellow and black get cut. Where are you at? Yellow and black. And the tables will indicate that by just putting an X here in those slots. So we'll do this as an example. We'll just do a pair of these. I'm going to start with the left side. If you position the board with the USB port on the Pico on your right, then the buzzers and sensors will all be connected to openings on this side. So the left sensor and buzzer will go to slots here, and the right sensor and buzzer will go to slots up here, and the potentiometer will connect to 3 openings on this side. So we'll do the connections for the left buzzer and sensor first. What this says to me is that the red wire for the left buzzer will connect to a port called GP9. And so there's GP9 right here. See that? So what I'm going to do is there's a screw aligned with GP9. I'm just going to, or a bolt, and I'm just going to turn that counterclockwise until I can't go. I'd like you to just watch this little metal piece right here. Let's see if I get that. Watch this little metal piece right here. And watch it move up and down in the slot. If I tighten it, it moves up. As I loosen it, it moves down. So I want to loosen it first, And I'm going to insert the wire into the opening above that little gate. Red wire into that opening. And I want to insert it just until the insulation for the wire kind of aligns with the outside of that opening. I don't want to get any insulation inside. I just want to get that little piece of bare wire in there. So I have that. I'll tighten the gate up till it feels nice and snug. I can also pull on the wire gently to just test that it's been captured well. There's another opening just below GP9 that says GND for ground, and that's where I'm going to attach the green wire. So I'll kind of straighten out the wire, had a little bit of a bend in it there. Oh, make sure my gate is down. You can do that by turning the screw counterclockwise. I'll put the wire above the little metal gate and only insert the exposed bare wire. And then I'll tighten the screw, tighten the bolt, whatever you want to call that thing, by turning it clockwise. And I've captured that one. Let's do one of these 4-wire guys. This is going to connect to the left sensor. So it says attach the green wire to GP12, so that starts right here. Then the red wire to GP13, which is the next one down. Then black goes to ground, which is the next slot down. And yellow goes to GP14, which is the last slot down. There's a GP15, we're not going to use that. So green, red, black, yellow. That's the order from top to bottom here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go ahead and open all of these to make sure I've got them all open. Start with 12. Clockwise. 13. Ground. And 14. So those 4 openings are all the way open. Now, I'm still going to put these guys in one at a time. Start with green. Goes into 12. This is way easier to do when you don't have a camera in the way. Again, just make sure only the metal tip is going in there and not any of the insulation. Then we have red is next. Goes into 13. Turn clockwise to tighten it. Little tug, make sure it's captured. Then we have black, which goes into the GND or ground slot. And yellow goes into 14. Oops, got away from me there. So the left buzzer and left proximity sensor connectors are ready, and I'll just repeat here with the right buzzer and proximity sensor wires, and we'll come back. Oh, I'm just going to follow Tables on this side. All right, your wiring should look something like this. Here's the sensor on the right, the buzzer on the right, the buzzer on the left, and the sensor on the left. And then the last thing we need to do is connect our potentiometer to some openings on this side. And in particular, I'm looking for the 3.3 volt out, which is right here. Then GP28, which is right here. And the ground is right next to that. Then what I see here is ground is orange, then red, then brown. So it's going to go orange, red, brown. So we just repeat the same thing where we open up the gates. It's a little easier to do this one because we're not dealing with a tiny bit of wire sticking out the end, or a tiny bit of bare wire sticking out the end of some insulation. We have these nice pins here. So orange, I'm going to go like this, orange into the ground. I'll just go ahead and lay that down. And we have red going into 28. You can feel the wire coming up as you tighten. And then 3.3 volt out for the brown wire. Which means I got the wrong, I didn't feel it coming up, so it means I had the wrong screw. Right, there we go. And these are all nicely attached. All right, so we're ready to just kind of test our assembly, and we'll bring those parts together next.